This is Lori with Rockenco Crafts. Thank you for joining me. In today's video, I want to pour the smaller of the two Let's Resin snake molds. And I did pour these before, but this one I actually kind of want to jazz it up a bit. Now, I know that there are individuals out there that do like snakes. I'm not one of them, but my granddaughter is one of them. And so what I want to do is I'm actually pouring this for her, but at the same time, I want to just see what I can create with some colors and some sparkles. So the first thing, of course, I'm going to want to do is I do have a couple of little resin eyes that I made. So the first thing I'm going to want to do is use some UV resin and get those put in. Let me fix my glove here and we'll get started with that. Okay, let me go ahead and get the resin, the tool, and the light. And I just want to put a little bit in here because these little spots in the snake's eyes, I mean, they're small. And one of the reasons oh no, I threw that. One of the reasons that I wait until after it cures to paint the black part of or the pupil on is because I don't have to worry about what direction I'm putting it in there when I first apply it. Maybe one of these days I'll get a little braver and try that, but today's not that day. So let me go ahead and get a little UV in here, or a lot, probably more than I need, and see if I can't get this flipped around in there. And I want to make sure that I have it where I need it. It appears to be there, so let me go ahead and get that UV on there. And then once I get these eyes in, I'm going to brush it with some neon powder and then do like a clear pour or fill it with clear. And then maybe add some glitter. I mean, not all snakes are scary looking. I mean, snakes are snakes. It depends on the individual. But some of them are absolutely beautiful. And I want to see if I can make this one beautiful for a beautiful granddaughter. Okay, let me stop there for a minute and I'll continue to cure those in just a minute. Let me go ahead and get that other eye in. And then I'll give you a peek, see, on the other side. Let's see if I can get that scooched in there with the tool. I'm not sure that's turned the correct way. I want the rounded side in, not the flat. There we go. Oops. All right. See if I can cure that in place. If you watched the video where I was testing the neon powders, I mean, they are so bright and so pretty. But when I was doing the test, I actually kind of did it on like the flower candle molds. And some of them after I brushed, I filled with the clear resin and then some with the black resin. Now the black didn't turn out so good, but I love the way those flowers turned out that I brushed and filled with clear, because it looked like there was just like see-through. I don't know. It just looks so pretty on the tips of the flower petals. So I'm hoping to get somewhat of the same kind of effect on the snake, because there's so many little details in there that I'm hoping it'll kind of look like a crystally blue sparkly snake. I guess we will find out. I just want to make sure I get these eyes good and cured into place. before I start doing any brushing. And these are just little bitty, it's a jewelry making mold that I have that have these little bitty dot molds. And that's what I use to make my critter eyes. All right. So I'm going to start with, this is the blue. And I know the camera never does show just how pretty these colors are, but they're absolutely gorgeous. But I am going to use the blue today, and I will put a link to some of the products I use in the description box below. Let me set that aside. Got my brush out here and hope those eyes are good and cured in there. Let me give it a few taps just to make sure. Yeah, they sound cured. So I'm going to go ahead and see if we can't get some of this brushed in. And this may or may not work. I really hope that it does. I mean, I'm looking for, I don't want a solid blue snake. I actually hope that the scales, get a little blue in them, but at the same time that the clear kind of shines through to make it look, well, like a crystal blue snake. If I can't get this brushed in all the little nooks and crannies here, I think that this mold is so cool because of all the details. Right. Just going to continue to brush, make sure I get it up both sides. And according to my water measurements, the small snake, it takes 60 milliliters. What I will do first is I'm actually going to just mix 40 and pour that and allow it to cure for a few hours. And then I'm going to go back in with some glitter and, mix the other 20 and dome it with the glittery resin. All right. I just want to make sure I have it down that head real well. Don't want to miss any spots. That is so bright and blue. It is, the neon powders are gorgeous. Okay, let me kind of wipe that brush off a little bit, set it aside. I'm getting ready to do a thump, make a bit of a mess. A big mess. I may need to do one more thump here. Anyway, that's what we have so far. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get some resin mixed up. And then we'll do this first pour. And hopefully it'll look like a crystal blue snake. All right, well, let me go ahead and mix some resin up. And I'll see you shortly. Okay, I have the resin mixed. Let me fix my mat here. And I'm just going to pour a little bit just down the body of the snake. Try to give it some thumps. I really, really want this to work out. But what project don't we want to work out, right? I forgot my stick. Get that over here. And on the tail, once again, there's just a little spot on this tail. We want to make sure that we pinch because we don't want bubbles. And I don't want to fill this, I don't want to dome this simply because I want to come back in with some glitter or some kind of sparkly something and dome it with that, but I still have room. Give this tail some pinch. I forgot to give you guys a peek, see, but hopefully you can see the little yellow eyes in there. And that I just made with the Let's Resin glow in the dark powder. Only because I guess I can start doing that with the neon powders now because it's bright as well. And I think I do believe I see a little piece of fuzz in here. And let me look. Yeah, I still have room for more. I just don't want to dome it. And I mixed just a little bit more than 40. I'm just checking to see how much room I have. Oh, yeah, I have plenty of room down there for sure. Should be about the same throughout. But let me go ahead and stick my tool in here again. I just don't want any bubbles in that tail. Let me give that a clean off. And I actually took a few days off. I haven't videoed for about a week, and it's funny how I just feel like I've forgotten what to do. But sometimes we just need that time off. Okay, so yeah, it looks like I would be able to pour the rest and still have room to dome. Just want to make sure of that. Let me go ahead and stick my tool down in the head here. I just don't want any bubbles. Again in the tail. All right, let me go ahead and get the rest of this little tiny bit in here. And there should still be plenty of room to put some kind of sparkly dome on it. And I haven't made up my mind just yet what I'm going to use. Only that I do want to add some sparkle to it. But that's what we have so far. And what I am going to do is I am actually going to let this cure for about, I'm going to say between 3 and 4 hours. I want to be able to pour, when I dome it, I want to make sure that if I use, glitter and stuff is heavy. So I want to make sure that it's not going to sink in this layer of resin. So I will meet you back here when we're ready to do the next pour. See you shortly. Okay, it has been 3 hours and I took my time trying to decide. I did decide I'm going to use glitter. This is a darker blue and this is a lighter blue, but I'm thinking because the snake is so dark, I kind of want the contrast. So I think I'm going to use the lighter of the two. And this looks almost like sky blue. So let me go ahead, and I do have my resin mixed, and I want to use a lot. I'm thinking about possibly, I'm going to go ahead and pour it all in there. I'm just going to pour it all in and see what we end up with. Get that mixed in. You look down in there, that really is pretty. I don't know if you can see how sparkly that is, but it's hopefully it'll complement the little snake. So I'm going to go ahead and clean off my stick and go ahead and get this last little bit poured. It should dome it, I hope. Let me get my tool in case I need it. Definitely need my stick. So I'm going to go ahead and start getting this poured on here. Give it a minute to spread out a little bit. Yeah, it looks like I still have plenty of room. Let me see if I can't use my tool to just kind of help this flow down into the tail here. I definitely want to make sure that it's all the way into that tail. Go ahead and add a little bit more. Stop there for a second and check it. I don't want to overfill, but I don't want to underfill either. I don't want the big sharp edges on there. Just by the tail a little bit. Give it a little clean off. And it looks like I could use just a little bit more. Let me see if my tool will go down in there. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit more. That's all I have left is a little bit. I only mixed 20 milliliters. And let me check and see. That does look domed. So what I'm going to do, I really like the sparkles. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let it cure for 24 hours. And then I will meet you back here for the unmolding. See you shortly. It is time for the unmolding. It is sparkly and pretty on this side. But before I get to the unmolding, I have a couple of questions. This is the little container that had the glitter in it. And I have a few of these that are empty. I mean, I ordered some kits early on, and there's a lot of little containers like this. And I do have a few that are empty. So for those of you out there, if you have containers like this that are empty, do you have any suggestions as to what to do with these? I mean, is there something resin related I could do with it, or other kinds of crafts? If you know, please let me know what you do in the comments below. And the second is this. As of the filming of this video, I have 289 subscribers, and I want to thank all of you for subscribing. I am just 11 shy from 300 subscribers. Now, what does 300 subscribers mean to YouTube? Absolutely nothing. What it means to me, though, is the world. So if you watch and you haven't subscribed yet, please do consider doing so. All right, let's go ahead and unmold this little snake. And I hope that this thing is beautiful, blue, and blingy. I'm going to start with the head. And I really do hope it gives kind of like that crystally look. Like the flowers. I don't know. I just love the way the flowers look. It does look like I have a little bit of overpour, but again, the overpour is very thin. So it should be easy to take off with an X-Acto knife. And I want to be very careful on the tail. I don't want to break the tail. There we go. But yeah, there's a little bit of overpour right here. And maybe right here. But it's nothing that an X-Acto knife won't take off. I mean, it's a real thin amount. Are we ready to see what it looks like? On this side, it's gorgeous. I love the bling. Well, the bling didn't show through. Darn. But I do have the crystal look. But yeah, the glitter really did not show through all the way through. And that's, I guess, because of the blue. So I may have to try this again. Only just make it glitter. That glitter is really pretty. But yeah, I'm surprised that the glitter didn't show through. But it does have that crystally look that I was looking for. And what I'll do is I'll go ahead and use an acrylic pen and put some eyes on this. And then I will be right back. See you shortly. Went ahead and I said I was going to put eyes on it. I meant pupils. So I went ahead and all I use is just like a black acrylic paint pen. But I have the little eyes on the snake. And even though it is cute, I do like it. It's not quite the look I was going for. I really did want that bling to shine through. I'll have to practice with that. Anyhow, there's the little blue blingy almost blingy. Snake, let me know what you think in the comments below. I do want to thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Thank you.